So first off, I've got these great comic books. Now, I will say that the prehistory one, part one of the comic book series, definitely goes from an evolutionary standpoint. So you might want to skip over some stuff or not, depending on your worldview. But it's art history all told very much through a comic book style and through the lens of these children having a discussion with their uncle. So obviously for Classical Conversations Cycle 2, and sorry, you're going to hear my baby in the background. This starts a little too early, but it's a good catch up if you hadn't done this for Cycle 1. But it does get into the Middle Ages fairly quickly. So we're about, halfway through? And all of a sudden you're in the Middle Ages. So about halfway through the book, it starts into the Middle Ages and Renaissance. And you start getting into the Byzantine Empire. All really cool stuff and cutely illustrated. Lots of conversation. And then we're planning on jumping into the next book, which again, we will only do like half of, because it starts in the Renaissance and it goes through modern times. And we're not going to be ready to get into the modern times yet, but we're going to go through some of the early modern era. So really excited about these. We've read them a little bit, but quite like them. Next, we got some used art history books off eBay that correlate pretty closely with what we're doing. So these two are on the Middle Ages, Glory of God in medieval art, and Art of the Middle Ages. Both very, very quick reads. You can see it's kind of at a child's reading level almost, but very quick little reads, short little lessons. So easy stuff there. This was a little bit denser, but not bad. Very much like a school library reference book. So thought we would get into these a little bit, and we've pulled these out a couple times. And then this one just looked fun. This is just a timeline. So it teaches everything through the timeline. Okay, sorry about that. My son turned on the CD player, and my daughter was listening to one of her classical music CDs. We're not talking about our music enrichment right now. We're talking about art history. So this is our little art history timeline. It's very cool, neat little reference book. Puts a lot of things in perspective. Hey, this was going on over here. Well, this was going on over here. So you can kind of see how that all works. Then, if we want to really get into it, this is my art history book from when I was in college. One of them. I have a lot. I was an art history major, so this is important. Okay, we are going to have like a million baby interruptions apparently while filming this. So, again, we kind of bridge the gap on this. So, gosh, like 2/3 of the way through the book, it starts to get into the fall of Rome and the early Middle Ages. This is not something that I've tried reading college level textbooks to my daughter. She is not anywhere close to being able to understand stuff on this level. but it's a good reference for me on what to talk about. And of course, the photographs and maps are super helpful. Then, because I said we're bridging the gap, the second one we have is this one, and this is volume 2. And this gets into more of the Renaissance. And again, not actually reading any of this to her, just using it for the photographs and for me as kind of a jumping off point. I like to review this stuff too, because if you don't use it, you lose it, right? So you got to go back over this kind of stuff. Then we have some more hands-on stuff. So this is a little textbook on the Book of Kells. And this is the corresponding Dover coloring book. So this is like the one Dover coloring book where I'm super specific that she's going to need to follow the colors as well as possible. So like that's one that she's done. It's just trying to get her to study the image and, you know, spend some time in the image. All right, so there's that. And then she has this medieval tapestries one. She's got a lot of Dover coloring books, and I use these when we're doing history or art history, just as, you know, something to keep her hand busy. So that one was fun, but I don't care if she colors it right or wrong on these for the most part. Then she has an art coloring book. These are really cool, but they're super hard to line up because they kind of jump around all over the place. So they've got the table of contents in here, and we've done a lot of them. So we won't get to some of them for a while, but they're just, you know, black line drawings that you can fill in. Then we love the Draw and Write Through History series. We've done several of these. We've actually done this one before, but we're going to do it again. Because always fun to actually draw the things. I think she's drawn this castle like 10 times. We don't do a lot of the writing. We mostly do the drawings and read through it. So there's that. Oh, and then we like these sticker books because we put them on little worksheets and have her do copies of the different pieces. And that's kind of fun. So that's it. That's what we're doing for art history for Classical Conversations Cycle 2.